Oh, piss off, you're lucky enough you're even here, you know. My mother thinks you're a bad influence, and she says there's something dodgy about you. Ed fingered the packet of cigarettes in his pocket. Boyd had no idea how astute his mother was. In the first instance, Ed had learnt that mothers fell into one of two camps as far as he was concerned. Camp 1, of which Boyd's mother was the archetypal fully paid-up member, took the view that he was dangerous, a bad boy, someone liable to lead their son, or more likely daughter, astray. Camp 2 saw him as a plaything and, as such, flirted with him, outrageously. On occasion, members of Camp 2 had been known to proposition him despite his tender age of 17, just. Ed had succumbed once to such a proposition, mainly because the mother had been astonishingly beautiful, and because Ed was sure she would teach him a thing or two. He hadn't been wrong about that, but he hadn't expected the stalkerish behaviour that followed the liaison. He had been forced to sever all ties with the friend, simply to avoid the mother. Lessons learnt. Ed edged a cigarette out of the packet and put it in his mouth. He couldn't exactly blame Camp 1 for being wary of him. He was a bad boy, in the mildest of forms, and frankly it was an image he cultivated. Like many of the macho heroes he admired, Ed loved drinking, smoking, and women. Especially women. Or in his case, they tended to come under the banner of girls. He loved the way they looked, the way they smelt, the swell of their chests, their long, smooth legs, their full mouths, their beautiful eyes looking at him with appreciation, or sometimes trepidation. Ed easily dealt with either response. The former fed his ego, the latter presented a challenge. But Mrs. Middleford had also worked out that there was something dodgy about him. A very upper-class way of stating that he didn't fit in somehow, that her social antennae had detected a mismatch. Ed made a mental note to keep an eye on that. He could do without his secrets being revealed just as he was about to leave the school he had worked so hard to get into. He had promoted an enigmatic image for himself, one that hid his real background, and, as such, he deliberately kept his friends and his home life firmly separate. Ed never took friends home. He had done it once, with disastrous results. Again, lessons learnt. Ed cleared his throat and took the cigarette out of his mouth. Anyway, Middleford, pay attention. I've seen a girl I like, she's gorgeous, and I want to talk to her. I need her name and some background details, please. Boyd let out a sigh of resignation, but narrowed his eyes nonetheless. Which one is it? Not Gabby, surely. She's a friend of my sister's. Her nickname is Vacuum, which probably makes you even more excited, but I wouldn't touch her with yours, quite frankly. Not Gabby. As if, Boyd. Ed knew exactly how Gabby had earned her nickname. No, that one over by the window, the one with eyes I could drown in, and a body like Venus de Milo. Boyd frowned. God, you are a massive tit. I know you want to be a writer, but honestly, do you mean that one with the terrible hair? Ed rolled his eyes. The long, wild tangle of mousy curls conjured up thoughts of bare backs and exquisite shoulders, surely. Boyd, a sturdy, unimaginative fellow at the best of times, truly lacked vision. I think she's called Molly, Boyd offered finally. Molly Wilkes, yes. Her mother is an old school friend of my mother's. Father's an Oxford Don. Older brother Tom, perhaps. Successful architect. That'll do. Good work, Boyd. You are a veritable goldmine. Ed headed straight for the window as the girl called Molly slipped outside. He followed her, knowing he had the perfect excuse in his hand, should he need it. A sneaky fag was useful in so many ways. As a result, he was taken aback when Molly turned and eyed him suspiciously. Burning his fingers when he snapped his Zippo shut. Shit, might be. Molly, isn't it? You know my name,
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.